Hello, beautiful beings. I don't know if I'm feeling compelled to record a video right now, but I really, really want to. But there's nothing coming in. I've been asking the ancients off and on all morning what I could record a video about, and so far, really nothing. There's one thing. I've really been wanting a morning prayer that would get me completely out of the way. And so it would just be the divine's will. Like I would know for a fact my whole day, which I already know, but I want to know like all day and remember that the divine, I'm being lived. This isn't my life. This is life coming through this physical form. And so I was talking to Moonstar about it a couple mornings ago, and there was a certain prayer we were talking about, and I said, "Yeah, that one's really good, but I want a prayer that gets me completely out of the way." And she said, "Well, you are having this human experience." And yeah, that's very true. I have been trying really hard to get rid of this person completely, and this human experience completely. But I've really ever since our talk a few days ago, I've really been just relaxing and not trying so hard. My last video was spiritual overthinking, so I have been listening to uh Samanari Jayasara off and on today, but I haven't been listening as hard as I have been. I've just been feeling it more than listening, more than trying to grasp what I'm hearing. If there's something that I need to hear with my brain, then I will hear it. It'll just stand out. It's always been that way, actually. So I was listening to, and I have been listening to near-death experience videos for quite a long time now, and they're just so beautiful. It may sound morbid, but no, it's so beautiful because it's a reminder that life on planet Earth is temporary. It's just school, and it makes things, okay, so like when a spirit is coming back into their physical form, how they talk about how heavy and dense it is. Well, that makes a lot of sense. It makes things feel less cumbersome, knowing that this is just temporary. And also when it does feel cumbersome, it helps me remember why that is, that we are not these physical forms. So I heard somebody say in one of those videos a couple days ago, please make me an outlet for your love. Because when he crossed over, he felt, they all do, they feel so much love, unconditional love. He said, this being, it just felt like, take your time, even if it took him 1,000 years to make up his mind whether he wanted to come back or not. It was 100%. Some would call it God. I call it the divine. The divine was like, take your time, no big deal. I'm in no hurry at all. Just absolute 100% unconditional, pure love. And the divine said to him, he was asking the divine, please let my family and friends, please give them this feeling of love that you're giving me right now. So then when I go back to planet Earth, they will be able to understand what it was that I went through and what I felt. And the divine said, that's what you're going to do. When you go back, you're going to show them, you're going to love them like that. And he's just like, I can't do that. There's no way that I can do that. I've never felt love like that in my physical form. But that was his assignment. And so his prayer was, before he came back into his physical form, please make me an outlet for this love, for your love. And I was just like, there it is. There's my morning prayer. And so I've been saying it the last few days, and been feeling even more peaceful than I ever have, which is, of course, has been my goal, is to, I don't think that I'll ever reach a point where there are no thoughts, but I'm not paying attention to them. My mind is just in its natural state. And even when I'm doing something, I don't really feel like there's much thinking required to accomplish what I'm doing. So that's very exciting. I'm going to keep saying it and I guess just see what happens. That's really not the point. But anytime I've had a major shift and been able to get more deeply into presence, my life changes on the outside for sure. But that can't be the goal. The goal is just to feel as peaceful as I can in this physical form. There was a time when my mom, Ocean, she was very resistant to even saying the word death. And now she watches the near-death experience videos also. And she also has contact with my dad that passed. I don't know why, it was yesterday, it was 5 years. And even though I can talk to him anytime I want to, and when he pops in, it's just so clear that he's not gone. For the person that still has a physical form, it can feel very, very sad. Because thoughts like, for myself, thoughts like, I won't get to hug him again. I won't get to see his beautiful smile again. Even though, hi Dad, even though he's right here right now with his beautiful smile, that's really it's not sad for the person that has dropped their physical form. It's sad for the person that's still in a physical form. Like for my mom, she had a rough day yesterday and leading up to it, of course, but yesterday was rough because it brings, and I asked the ancients, it may seem like an obvious question, but I said, what is it about the day that is seems the hardest for people, the day that the person dropped their physical form? What is it about that makes it extra difficult for the person that is still here? I wanted to know specifically. And they said, it's because the memories of that day, of that deep loss, are so prevalent. They come back around like it just happened, even though it's been 5 years. But 5 years, it really isn't that long. They were together in the physical for 64 years. From the time Mom was 14 and Dad was 16. So I personally don't feel like it has gotten easier in ways because she is such an independent, strong woman. She has found that that has grown more and more inside of her, that strength of being independent. I mean, from 14 to 16, she really didn't have any time to get familiar with that part of herself, that independent woman part. But thinking about him being gone makes her feel really sad because it makes her feel very alone also. And so I personally don't feel like she's ever going to reach a point where it doesn't bother her. Yeah, and that's acceptance. That's definitely acceptance. And I didn't realize I was going to cry talking about him, but I miss him. I miss being able to see him in the way that I used to see him and get hugs. But my mom and I, the time that we spend together it's so life-giving. I swear that when we spend time together, it makes both of our lives better. Doesn't it, Mama? Yeah, it makes everything seem easier. And I know for a fact that I am going to be with my dad again. I absolutely know that. And watching these and listening to these, near-death experience videos helps me remember that. Because it's not like, it's when we come here and we have this human experience, we don't get to remember those things as we're going through it. Not as vividly as before we got here, that's for sure. It would be kind of like cheating, they're saying. Yeah, so, ancients, is that it for today? But it's incredibly important to go through the grieving process, even if it lasts a really long time, even if it lasts for the rest of our days. It's important not to stay stuck on the event of it or a sad feeling that comes in. And Ocean has gotten incredibly good at not ruminating, not just constantly talking about, which is a huge part of the grieving process, is talking about it, how bad, you know, we feel. It's all a part of it. There's no wrongness of it. It's just like some people, they can lose somebody and that defines them for the rest of their days. And whoever they encounter, even if it's been 14, 15, 20 years, they bring it up. And that's not true healing. It just isn't. So I have been able to see where my dad is as far as, you know, what he's doing. And a large part of, besides, you know, more growth, what he's been doing, he's been building, which it's already built now, he's been building a log house for them, for mom and dad, for both of them, in heaven. And I can see the trees. There's trees on the sides, but it's very open also. And there's this huge, like, it's not a path, it's an openness that goes all the way down to this lake. And I started describing it to my mom one day, and she finished it. She had seen it also, exactly like I did. And I've also seen him making a handmade canoe. And also there's a white bench off to the left of my vision that my mom and dad sit on. And they often spoke about that bench, that they were going to meet on that bench. And it's just so beautiful that my mom has seen it also. And when she, still to this day, she can go to roll out of bed and she'll feel his arm around her and he'll say, "Hey, get back here." Almost every single night he shows up in her bedroom also. She hears noises and she can feel him standing beside her bed. And it brings her a lot of comfort. And she has incredibly vivid, they're not dreams, they're visitations from him also. Yeah, so I have a video. It was the day that he dropped his physical form. I went back into the house that I was living in and I flipped on the lights and they were just a huge light show, and they would go almost all the way out and then come back on, and I was just started crying. I was just like, "Thank you, Dad. Thank you so much." And you know, I sent that to my mom, and I think it was a little too soon. I think I'll send it to you again. I think I'll send it to you really soon. I haven't remembered that for a while now. I've had many different signs from my dad. One of the signs that I get from him is lenticular clouds. Yeah, they're quite spectacular. Unlike any other cloud I've ever seen. We got to see those before he passed. They looked like spaceships. My mom and I just stood up there for the longest time, just waiting for like different for life from a different planet to walk out of them. It was quite magnificent. I think that's it for now. I am also a medium, so if you are missing somebody and would like to see if a message comes through for you, sotsongwithmamag@gmail.com, or you could leave me a question, the Ancients and I, a question or a comment in the comment section. Love you so much. Love you, Mama.